From New Trier High School in Winnetka, Illinois, it's the 2001 Illinois High School Association Boys Swimming and Diving Championships. Hello everyone, I'm Ann Penstone, and I'm so pleased to be working with longtime Palatine Pirate coach today, Ed Richardson. And Ed, yesterday in the prelims, everything was exciting, tense. Today's the icing on the cake of a very long season.
Exactly. On Friday night, the boys try to set up, their teams in good position for today. And Evanston really did a great job yesterday. They came in here and based on what they've done, they probably are in line to win their first state championship since 1960. There are 5 other teams, though, battling out for the remaining 2 spots. They're separated by about 11 points, so it should be exciting.
There are 12 events here today. We've got diving, 3 relays, and 8 other individual events from which we'll have champions crowned. And we've got 2 heats in each of those events. We'll have the consolation finals, the 7th through 12th places, and the champion will come out of 1 through 6.
Exactly. All 12 spots will score, so in the team battle, every young man here is going to count for points that will determine whether a team gets a trophy or not.
Speaking of those young men, we have a tremendous field here. It's very tough to isolate anybody, but there are 3 young men who we picked that if they swim up to expectations could really make some waves.
Yes. First young man we have chosen is from Evanston, Terry Silkaitis. He is the defending champion in the 200 freestyle. He is also the defending champion in the 100 free. This year, however, he switched events and has decided to go the 100 fly. Okay, last night he actually broke the state record in the 100 fly and should be an extremely exciting race.
Well, a couple other individuals that we want to see is his chief competition, what may be the premier event today, the 100 fly.
Yeah, that's Dan Troupin from Champaign Central. Dan is a known entity here. Dan this summer swam at the U.S. Olympic trials, making the finals in the IM. He is swimming the IM today, and he's also swimming the 100 fly. He and Terry will be maybe the premier race today in that event.
And something else happened. 50 seconds was broken by a young man from downstate.
Yep, young man from Sterling, Illinois. His name is James White, and James is the defending champion in the 100-yard backstroke. And yesterday, for the first time in Illinois history, he broke 50 seconds, and it looks like he can actually go and lower that mark a little bit more today.
Well, there's a little bit of what you can expect to see. The first event will be the 200-yard medley relay next from New Trier. Medley Relay Consolation Finals. The heats, the lanes from top to bottom: West Chicago, St. Charles East, Hinsdale Central, Oak Park Fenwick, Neuqua Valley, Naperville, and Evanston Township. Big points for St. Charles East and Evanston.
The 200 Medley Relay is a key event with the team championship coming up. In this heat, we have St. Charles East and Evanston, 2 of the teams that were favored at the beginning. The relay scored double points. So any move up in this heat will actually greatly help the team title. You have the Breaststroke is in the water right now. Next will be the Flyers, followed by the 50 freestylers. So like I said, this really tests the team's speed and versatility. Right now it looks like lane 3 is leading, which is St. Charles East.
And those are, of course, big points. They had a tougher day than expected yesterday. They'd love to pick some points up here. You can score from here, but not win.
We have over in lane number 6, Neuqua Valley is making a move. St. Charles is still in 2nd place there.
The last swimmer in the race is Neuqua Valley, leading but very up and top in lane 3. St. Charles East appears on the turn to take the lead.
Neuqua Valley trying to hold them off. Here comes Fenwick. Fenwick has Brian Ellsworth anchoring it. He's in the 50-yard freestyle. It looks like Fenwick. Yes, but St. Charles took 2nd. They just picked up a spot.
What a great anchor leg for Fenwick as they touch out St. Charles East in the consolation finals of this first event here from New Trier. Medley relay time 1:37.96. Which is just a little bit slower than they had in the prelims yesterday.
Well, that's one of the things you'll notice last night takes such a toll on the young men. It's emotionally and physically draining. But you'll find out a lot of times on Saturday is the times might be actually a little bit slower than they did last night. So teams really have to fight for places now.
And here it is for the championship heat. At the top of your screen will be Lincolnshire School Stevenson, Marmion Academy. They are the defending champs. 3 of the 4 swimmers return. Naperville North, Chicago St. Patrick, Champaign Centennial, and the home school, New Trier, right here from Winnetka.
Again, a key heat here. You have Stevenson, vying for a trophy. Marmion, Naperville North, and New Trier all in the mix. St. Pat's a little bit outside, but anything can happen here.
State record 133.3.
200 yards medley relay. Take your mark.
Marmion needs this. They have they're the defending state champions.
New Trier got a great start down here in the bottom of your screen.
Leading off for them is Ryan Foley, who I believe is like the 3rd or 4th seed in the 100 back right now.
Naperville North had a good turn, making up some distance. Stevenson swimming strongly in lane 2. So at the borders of your screen, top and bottom, are your leaders.
Down in the bottom here, New Trier, their breaststroker. That is actually pulling away from the rest of the field right now. But they still have the race left, so anything can happen. But New Trier right now, home pool advantage, pulling away.
Things are evening up right now, but New Trier still having a slight lead, and you can hear the noise as we get the 3rd swimmer taking off.
Out there in lane number 5, we have Anthony Nipcon from St. Patrick, who was a finalist in the 100 fly last year and also finalist this year. So he's actually closed up the distance with the New Trier team. And here comes Naperville North in lane 4.
Naperville North at the lead as the final swimmer enters the water. The Huskies.
Key here is to find out if you have a young man who can take as few breaths as possible, keep his turnover going, make sure at the end of the wall he's reaching and rolling, not taking an extra stroke.
Oh, it is tight. It is Marmion Academy and Naperville North side by side to the wall.
And we have Marmion wins it, repeats as the state champion in the 200 medley relay.
136.34, perhaps a bit of an upset here, certainly unexpected.
Going into the race, yeah, but if you think about it, with the gentlemen they have swimming for Marmion, they have 3 of the 4 guys back from last year's team that was the state champion. The one guy they're missing was a big man, but here we go. If you notice here, you watch the gentleman at the top of the screen, reaches and rolls, and wins it by 4/100ths of a second. And there you see it again. You'll notice that the swimmer there reached and rolled at the end, before he looked back at his time. That helped him out there.
Oh boy, that's the quietest it's been around here since this pool opened up. And we'll be back with the awards right after this. Find out what's going on in the IHSA. Click on to IHSA.org. 40 million people did last year, so why not join them? Well, we have one event that has been completed, the 200-meter medley relay. And there are your finalists. The repeating and defending champs, Marmion Academy out of Aurora, 136.34. Naperville North in 2nd. St. Pat's in 3. The home team, New Trier in 4th. Stevenson with a fine race in 5th. And Champaign Centennial, number 6. There is that packed house. You can tell how tight it is out here on the course. And the congratulations, as Marmion congratulations their competitors. They repeat, somewhat surprisingly to some, as state champs.
Bill Shaw's always has his kids ready for it. This is a big move for them in the team battle. They actually have scored 8 more points now than they were scheduled to coming into the finals today. So nice start off for the Marmion Academy boys.
The young men who comprise that team, Daniel Hofler, Carl Sokolinski, and the Burgess twins, Jonathan and Nicholas, who returned along with Carl Sokolinski. So that's their 2nd consecutive state championship in this event. 200-meter medley. We're well underway. Our next event will be the 200-yard freestyle. And here you go. This will be the consolation finals. Wheeler from Hinsdale Central, Turner from New Trier, Obringer out of Loyola Academy, Ward from Geneseo Darnell, Ashley, a talented sophomore from Lake Forest, and Yale Fillingham from Bloomington. 2-6, 2-7, top to bottom. Those times that you see were their times coming out of the prelims. As you get a look at some of the conversation that goes on, a lot of strategy being planned. At this point, it's icing on the cake. You've done the hard work. Getting here is tough enough in the sectional. You have to achieve a certain qualifying time. Then we're coming into prelims. That's where all the pressure is. About 4 to 7 heats, and only 12 get to finals.
Exactly. And today they get to race each other. Last night was for time. Today is for place. So the boys know they just race each other, you know, when it comes down to today.
And once again, we have 2 heats in each event, and this is the 200-yard freestyle. 8 laps of the pool.
Quiet, please.
This is done. 200-yard freestyle. Take your mark.
It's an interesting race because it's sometimes termed the longest sprint. These young men basically are going almost full out, but they have to make sure they spread their energy over evenly, because in the last 25 yards, if they're neck and neck, the guy with a little bit left at the end is going to be able to get to that wall first.
Leading so far in the second lap is Joe Obringer from Wilmette in lane 4, but it's almost simultaneous with 5 and 6, Ward and Ashley.
Yeah, right now it's a little too early in the race. You know, the boys are probably just kind of feeling each other out. Someone sooner or later will make a move and see if anybody else wants to go with them. Right now it looks like it's the young man in lane 4, excuse me. And that's Joe Obringer. He's a senior from Loyola. He's been here, I believe, the last 2 years in this event.
Joe's led since the onset of this race and playing catch me if you can in this heat.
Exactly. I mean, experience is something, you know, you can't coach, you can't teach, and you know, Joe's thrown enough of these races at this level to be able to make that kind of move.
You're looking at the 100 split. The state record in this event is 137.34, held by Eric Marr, also from Loyola.
You can take a look. The young man in lane 3 is using the home crowd advantage. That's Alex Turner from New Trier, who is using the cheering of the hometown fans to give him a little energy there in the last 50.
He knows this pool. He knows what to do. He knows how to use the touchpad. But right now, still Obringer leading in lane 4. Right next to him, above him, is Alex Turner from New Trier, and right now it's a 2-horse race.
It's a very, very nice race. You know, Joe is picking his kick up here. He has plenty left to hold the guys off. Just one like a senior.
And it is Obringer, 1:42.87, which significantly drops his time from yesterday, so he's got to be pleased about that.
Oh, it sure should be. Anytime you can come in here on the second day and repeat, either repeat or drop your time, it's outstanding. Here he comes in here. You notice that still strong at the end and reaches and rolls at the end there. Nice finish. Here he come again. You watch, I talk about reaching and rolling. He swims and ends up on his side. Gives him a little extra reach on the finish there. Decreases time a little bit.
Comfortable lead, nice touch at the finish. And he'll wait to see what happens, but that's good for 7th place for sure. And we are now ready for the championship, the top 6 in this event. And the two-time defending champion is in it and will be in lane 4. Daw, outstanding swimmer from St. Charles East. Hayden from New Trier, there he is. Sokaitis, two-time defending champ in 4. His teammate McCaffrey swimming right next to him in 5. Boswell and Heinzel. A great field.
Exactly.
200-yard freestyle. Take your mark.
There's a lot at stake here, especially with Evanston and St. Charles both having 2 entries. The 2 Evanston boys are in the middle, and the St. Charles gentlemen are on the outside.
18 points since Marmions may have surprised some people winning that first relay. Evanston really needs to hold the lead that they projected from yesterday and get it here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right now, coming in seeded 1-2 is key for them. And just being the first individual swim, they want to start off, sending a message not only to the other teams, but for themselves.
Well, the lead right now is Silkitis, the defending state champ. He had a time of 1:38.42, significantly better than his last year's winning time, but almost 2 seconds off of that, more than 2.
Exactly. Now, if you take a look at him right now, I mean, very, very good swimmers look so effortless. Right now, most of us would say he looks like he's swimming easily, but yet you can see from his time, taking it out in 45, that he's obviously not swimming easily.
He is definitely trying to make a statement here in the first event that we'll see him. Terry Silkitis and the rest of the field, as you see the length of the lead that he has taken right now.
He is, basically this is his race. The other guys have to battle out for the second place. And we have a battle for second place. Anywhere like around 3 guys who have a shot at it. But Terry is just swimming away with this. This is his year. This is his event.
Well, the record is 1:37.34, and he's in that neighborhood, and the crowd is really cheering him on. He is going to be very close.
And he's going to be in the 1:38 range, probably. 1:38.36. Excellent swim.
He lowers his time from yesterday, and
big swim for St. Charles. Casey Dow took the second spot.
We mentioned Casey is one of the strongest swimmers, and Boswell in third.
Here we come in. If you notice Terry here, nice long stroke. Okay, keeping his kick up, driving for the finish, not breathing, reaching and rolling. They won it easily. Another look at it. Here we go from the side. See the length of the stroke, driving kick, beautiful extension there at the end.
As they rest and recoup a little bit afterwards. One of the things that's so amazing is the conditioning of these fine athletes. They didn't even look like they were doing anything. Well, there you have it. And we'll be back with 200 individual medley coming up. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Companies Insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick. And by the American Dairy Association on behalf of your local dairy farmers. The power of cheese. And there you have it. The defending champ repeats. Terry Silkitis from Evanston Township flirted with the record, settles for 1:38.36. Terrific. Daw from St. Charles East, big team points. Boswell from Guilford, McCaffrey teammate from Evanston Township. And the rest of the field, as you see, Terry Silkitis with his second consecutive state championship.
Did it in beautiful fashion, controlled the race from the beginning, made it look easy.
Next up will be the 200 IM. And boy, I tell you what, we're going to see one of the other young men that we've been highlighting, Dan Truppen. And there's the field for Consolation. Potasnik in 2, Schmidt and LaRue 3 and 4, Cullen 5, Lopez Lago in 6, and Johnson from Edwardsville way down south in 7.
And this is an event that really tests the versatility of a swimmer. Switching the muscle groups from butterfly to back to breast to free is extremely difficult on the body. These are truly your best, probably all-around athletes on your swimming team.
200-yard individual medley. Take your mark.
So far, all starts have been clean. We had a real excitement yesterday with about 3 very tenuous things. Everybody seems to have settled down. Leading quickly in lane 6 appears to be Jose Lopez Lago from Naperville Central.
This event's kind of interesting because in the team, when we talk about the team battle, most of the top teams do not have IMers in there. They seem to have the relays and the sprints covered. Naperville North does have an IM runner, but the other top teams, they are saving their guys for other events.
In lane 6, Lopez Lago, and also making a move in the second leg was Elliot Potasnik from Belleville West, also from downtown. Now settling into the backstroke leg and their second lap of that.
Notice that Jose still is, leading. If you watch when he comes off the wall, he really extends nicely, kicks hard. He did a dolphin kick coming off on the backstroke there. Actually helped himself break up and pull away. Here's a key part of the IM, the breaststroke. Right about now, you're pretty tired. This is an unnatural, if you want to say, action for the human body. And if you have a very good breaststroker here now, it's extremely important in the IM. And it looks like Jose's doing a nice job with his.
Turns first, out in lane 6 near the bottom of your screen, but also making the move looks to be Mark Schmidt of Naperville North, moving nicely in the breaststroke.
Exactly, and Mark, he's also an extremely good freestyler. at the end there. But Jose is a good all-around swimmer. Right now, he has a pretty good lead there. It's going to take a heck of a last 50 by the other young men to catch him. Looks like Jose is going to win the consolation heat. Nice and strong here. He's, you can see him finishing his stroke, pushing back down, past his hip. He just opened it up and broken away from everybody.
Lopez Lago, Elliot Potasic, and Mark Schmidt. 1, 2, 3. Consolation finals 200 IM.
Here he comes in, no breathing at the end. Nice reach and roll. Good swim by him. 1:55.40. Almost a 2-second drop. 1.7-second drop from yesterday. That is huge.
Well, that's when you say, thanks, coach, you got my taper right on.
Exactly. Like I said, the nerves are, they really hit the guys, on Friday night. Here we come on the replay. You notice nice high head position, good tempo there, reaching and rolling. At the end there, you'll notice he stops breathing, holds his head down, reaches and rolls for the finish. Beautiful job. Again, side view here. Notice he's not breathing. That's kind of hard to do, ladies and gentlemen, especially after swimming this fast and this hard. Excellent job.
Some of the fans who with their body works going on. There's a lot of paint we're seeing today. And here are the lane assignments for the championship event. Parr, White, our first chance to see him, and Truppen side by side, two of the gentlemen that we highlighted, Gullett, Pajoli, and Torres. Torres, a fine swimmer, has made a great stride since last year.
A lot of experience, a lot of seniors up here. Gentleman to watch ahead of time is probably lane 4, Dan Truppen, represented the United States at the U.S. Olympic Trials in the final this place. Gentleman,
Dan Truppen broke the state record yesterday. I'm sorry, he holds the state record of 1:48.60, and he's probably saving something for today.
I would think so. Dan swam hard yesterday, but I don't think he was as pleased with his swims. I think today he's going to try, being a senior, he's going to make a statement in his last time swimming the 200 IM at the high school level.
Flanked by White and Gullett, but with a comfortable lead right now.
The young man with the yellow cap above him is the state record holder of the 100 backstroke. And yet you notice that Dan is still keeping some distance between he and James.
Mike certainly has cut up a bit in this league, but it gives you an idea of the versatility of Truppen, as you say, to maintain the lead against the defending state champion in this event.
Exactly.
In that stroke.
Again, here's the key. James is actually coming up, swimming a very, very nice breaststroke. Dan also has an extremely good breaststroke. He does not really have a weak stroke. Tempo and extension are so important on breaststroke. Okay, if you notice, these guys are reaching forward, letting their heads and chest and shoulders drive forward, keeping the momentum going forward.
Truppen now extending his lead again.
You have Jeff Gullett from Byron making a move for the second place spot in lane number 5. Haven't heard about Jeff, and now Jeff's up here now.
But it is Truppen by himself out front. Gullett moving into second with James White in third. 1:48.
You're going to see Dan picking up his turnover here. He's obviously trying to go for the record. Driving the finish there. He's going to be 1:48 and some change. 1:48, 1:5. He actually set a state record. The state record was 1:48.60. Broke his own record.
There it is, your first look at Dan Truppen, the senior, with a new state record.
If you watch him here at the end, look at the tempo. Even after swimming, 7 laps here on his 8th lap, he keeps the tempo going, driving into the finish. Young man wanted that record. A side view here, again, watch. I keep talking about reaching and rolling, finishing with their heads down. Excellent effort.
Goodbye. We'll be right back with the 50-yard freestyle after the Medley Awards. Don't forget that the home of America's original March Madness continues with the boys Class A and AA state tournaments. The action begins each Friday at noon and 6:30 p.m., Saturday at 11 a.m. and 6:30. And the winners in the 200 IM. Truppen's new state record. There it is. Gullett in second, White in third, Pajoli in fourth, Parr in fifth, and Torres in sixth.
New state record, standing ovation for the young man. It's his senior year and going out the way you expect him to go out. They'll remember this.
So nice to receive the accolades of your peers. And the next event will be the power event of the day, the 50-yard freestyle. Not for the faint of heart.
The event that everybody wished they could swim, but most of us, it's not our strength.
Oh, the start's so
Power,
important.
speed, it's all start and a turn.
Well, after 3 events, we have unofficially New Trier, the home school, is actually leading in a very tightly contested, followed by St. Charles, Marmion, Niles, or Naperville North, and Evanston Township.
Still tightly packed together. Every placing point is going to help.
Consolation 50-yard freestyle. Top to bottom, Stevens, Boley, Searby, Kopecky, Richards, and Fleming. To the middle.
Come on, Carl.
The start here is so key. That to be very explosive.
50-yard freestyle. Take your mark.
Oh, boy, you hate to see that. But of all the events, this is the most likely.
Exactly. It's nerve-wracking to stand up there. You know you have to get a good start. You try to anticipate, when the gun or when the beeper's going to go off. Now we'll see if they actually did catch the same guy. The officials will go over. They'll write down the number of the lane. If they agree, unfortunately, the young man will be disqualified. If they do not agree, then the young man gets a second chance at it.
And it looks as if Ryan Searby, the top seed in this consolation final, will be disqualified for a false start. The senior, unfortunately, will not get a chance to compete. Oh, what a tough break. I do love the way that swimming does this, however. It's probably the fairest of anything you've ever seen, where unless you both agree without talking about it before, the young man stays.
Exactly. It should always go, the benefit should always go to the athlete.
What does this do to the rest of the field after a false start?
Probably not very much. They've gotten wet. It's probably actually relaxed some of them. They were probably a little bit more nervous. They're probably also very satisfied or very happy that it wasn't them. I mean, it's
relief.
Exactly. And Ryan, if you watch the way he handled it there, he was a gentleman. We talk about sportsmanship. Ryan showed that. Sure, he's disappointed, but he did not let anybody see that when he was out there.
Well, certainly this is an event which you have close to your heart, having coached a state champion yourself and Allison Weimer and brother Dan. Kind of an interesting thing from
I've been very, very lucky to have some very, very gifted sprinters. Both Allison and Dan in their senior years won the state title, and it's their talent that did it.
We believe it may be the only brother-sister duo in the same event to win state championships.
It's the only one that I'm aware of, and most coaches believe that it's the only brother-sister duo that's done it.
Take your mark.
We're clean. Down and back. That's all there is. Oh, quick lead down here on the bottom. Pat Fleming in Naperville Central.
If you can get out fast, that young man was in the finals last year as a freshman. Okay, so he knows how to do this. He placed 4th last year. He was the top returner in the 50 free from last year's state meet, and it looks like he's going to win the consolations.
Leroy Stevens at the top of the screen, and next to him, Darren Boley out of Springfield, also with a nice race.
Yeah, Fleming from Naperville Central. Outside smoke, as they call it, winning that consolations with a 21.56.
And he dropped from yesterday, which at this point is a whole lot. It's very difficult to drop tenths. Comes out of the pool.
If you watch him finish here, you'll see that he's out in front of people, not breathing, reaching and rolling, strong finish. The key in the 50s is to stay high in the water, keep the tempo going, and, not breathe.
Well, the first one, and now the tension rises for the top 6. As you see, the hair color, the shaved heads, there's everything you'd ever want of it, and of course the longer suits. It's Ranstead, top to bottom Walsis, Nathaniel Burgess, Picasso, Ellsworth, and Jonathan Burgess, the twins.
Lanes 3, 4, and 6 are key. You have Evanston in 4, and Marmion in 3 and 6.
50-yard freestyle. Take your mark.
Huge team points.
Exactly. Tight team field here also. You got 2/10 of a second separating first from sixth.
Jonathan out quickly in the bottom of your screen, and in the middle
Let's see
also.
who breaks up.
Nicholas.
Nice breakup by lane number 4.
And at the top, Peter Ranstead running.
Outside smoke again in lane 7.
Nicholas Burgess, there's
Looks
your
like they
winner.
went one. Oh, look at this. First place is lane 4. Second place was lane 5. Nice touch there by Mr. Bigazzo.
Nicholas Burgess, 21-1-6.
Here we come. You'll notice at the finish here when they show our replay. Okay, nice high by position, not breathing, good fast turnover, reaching for that wall. Again, side view, you notice key here, is a nice long reach and coming with a lot of speed, a lot of power. Nick came in with that.
That's a pretty good lead for a 50-yard race. Awards are next, and then we'll have diving. The 3 last dives in the finals. Follow all the preliminary rounds in your favorite sport by logging on to IHSA.org. It's all right there. And it's the awards for the 50-yard freestyle, the power event. It was won by Nicholas Burgess, 21-1-6, and big points for Marmion Academy. And brother Ty Jonathan in 4th. Degasso in 2nd, Ellsworth in 3rd. You see the tie with Ranstead and Burgess, and Wallace rounding out the field from Evanston. So big team points there in the speed event.
Many people look upon this as the premier event, not only in high school, but at the national level and at the Olympics. So, quite a feather in his cap to win this.
We're a third of the way through these 12 events, and the next event is going to be the diving. 8 dives completed, 3 to go, and we're going to show them to you. After 4 exciting events, here are the current team standings. Marmion is leading, proving that you're going to have to take away our championship that we worked so hard for last year. Evanston, who led yesterday, 38, but that may be a slightly deceptive lead pending the outcome of the number of individuals we have in events. New Trier, the home school, getting a big round for that. St. Charles East, Naperville North, and Fenwick out of Oak Park. Our next event will be the diving finals. There are 12 contestants coming out of the preliminaries yesterday. This is not in order of finish from yesterday. Freeman from Barrington, Atkins from Libertyville. 3rd position, Freeport Smith, Kelly from Rockford Christian, Bohm out of Glenbrook South, Pagia, the defending champion from Lake Forest, and big team points, Rabalco from Niles West, Morgan from Champaign Centennial, Jarris from Naperville North, Carson from Shepherd, de Blasi from Waubonsie Valley, and Hornback of home at Frostmore.
Ninth round is diving. Adam, dive 103, forward 1.5 somersault, tight position, 1.7.
Adam Freedom, the first diver, and we have 7 judges looking at his dive.
Exactly. What will happen is, on the dive, what they will do is they will take the 2 highest and 2 lowest scores, eliminate those, and then take the remaining, the middle 3, add those together, multiply by his DD, degree of difficulty, and that will give him his total score for that dive.
Adam's scores coming out of the preliminary, 285 total points.
If you notice here, what they're looking for is they're watching the approach, the takeoff, okay, how he completes the dive in the air and on his entry. Okay, nice toe point, very little splash. It was a good dive. Okay, the next young man is Devin Akins from Libertyville, doing a reverse dive pike, 1.7 is his degree of difficulty. Nice height, dropped it into the water. Probably need a little bit more toe point on his entry, but otherwise a very, very nice dive, nice top, nice high dive. And if you notice here, when he comes up here, very, very nice press and lift off the board. Okay, nice extension, okay. And just at the end, he kind of pointed his toes a little bit, and that's why you have that splash there at the end. Next is Matt Smith, doing a back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists free. It's a high degree of difficulty dive because there's a lot of twisting and somersaulting in it. Okay, You notice there, didn't get quite as much height as the young man before, and so when he entered the water, you'll notice that he wasn't in the upright or the vertical position. Still good scores. Again, if we watch on this, when he takes off, okay, as he's entering the water, you notice he's still bended his waist just a little bit.
Eric Kelly from Rockford Christian.
It's a back 1.5 somersault. Okay, again, you'll notice there he seemed like when he entered the water, it was a little bit flat. Okay, sometimes that's because they don't take it up high enough or they lean away from the board a little too much. And you'll notice that his scores were down a little bit lower because of that. Here you watch when he presses away from the board. As he enters, you notice there's a little bit flat there, quite a bit of splash at the end.
Jake Bohm from Glenbrook South.
This one's called a required dive. They have 5 required dives. This is an inward dive pike. Pretty nice dive there. Just for those who may not know, they have to do 5 required dives, which means they must do 1 from each of the divisions, which are front dive, back dive, inward dive, a twister, and then also a reverse dive.
And our first look at Victor Paglia, the defending state champion, now a senior. The pretty good lead coming here into the final.
Okay, if you notice on Victor here, outstanding press, gets a very, very good ride, as we call it, off the board. We'll see this in the replay. He presses down, lets the board do the work for him. Gets a very, very nice height, tight twist there. Okay, little over twisting on his entry, but otherwise a fantastic dive there.
Certainly the degree of difficulty helped, and he is maintaining the lead with a very nice 42.9 on that dive, giving him a total of 366.1. Dan Rabalk.
Young man from Niles West.
Dan's a junior.
If you watch on his replay here, okay, he has a little bit of a skip there, which is a different technique, good press. But you notice he's leaning forward first, which takes him a little bit off to the side of the board and a little bit short.
Brings up Noah Morgan, a senior from Champaign Central.
There's a forward dive here. Just pike, drop it straight down into the water. That was a very, very nice dive. It has a low DD because it is one of your required dives, but still a beautiful dive. Dropped it straight in. Here again, you'll watch, okay? Good press off the board. Okay, comes into what's called the pike position. Extends his arms, drops it straight in the water. Nice toe pointer there at the end.
Noah, as you look, he's waiting for his score. He's pretty pleased with it. He's waiting. They have not been posted yet. He was in 5th coming into the finals and the last of the 3.
Got to keep your sense of humor.
Got to keep your sense of humor.
He's smiling. He wants to know what his score is, but can't worry about it. It'll eventually come up. There you go. 7.5, 7s. Outstanding dive.
Brings up Chad Jarrett, another one of the 2 divers whose teams are in the thick of things from Naperville North.
These are important points for Naperville North in the battle for one of the trophies. Okay, not a bad dive at all. You'll notice that when he takes off away from the board first, doesn't get quite as much height, and as a result, his rotation slows down a little bit and comes up a little bit short. But to be at this level, you have to be doing a lot of things right. Okay, just a little bit short there.
Next up is going to be Josh Karshen from Shepherd High School in Palos Heights.
Those are good scores. That'll help him.
Getting that first dive under your belt's got to feel very good.
Exactly. They're nervous right now, even though they've done 8 dives already. Those were yesterday.
And it's the only event here today that all eyes are on you.
Exactly. Nobody's sharing the pool of the board with you while you're up there.
Give a little bit of a break as he waits.
Joshua, 401, inward dive pipe, 1.5.
This is
And let's get back up.
one of his required dives. One of his inward dives.
Josh was the final diver to qualify for the finals, and that is a terrific accomplishment.
Exactly. When you have 48 divers to make the top 12 is pretty impressive. Okay, very nice dive. Got a good lift off the board. Nice pike position. Held it. Dropped it straight in the water. Good toe point. Yeah, he should score well on this. And yes, he did. Watch this here. Nice tight pike. Good toe point. Extend. Reaches for the water.
Very nice score for Josh. Being rewarded for just what we saw.
Big smile on his face there. He should be pleased with himself.
Oliver de Blasi, another senior from Waubonsie Valley.
He's doing a back 1.5 somersault pike. DD 2.4.
Oliver was in second place coming into the last 3 dives.
Very nice dive. That's a difficult dive. Good press off the board. Held it tight. Okay, reached for that water and actually got a very nice entry. Nice drive off there. Tight position there. Good draw. Kind of went over a little bit there. Got a little splash at the end.
And the final diver in the first round will be Ryan Hornback from Holman Flossmoor.
He's doing a back dive straight. Okay, one of his required dives. Okay, not too bad. Kind of arched his back a little bit on the entry, trying to save, as they call it, save it a little bit. Okay, on the replay here, we'll watch him. Gets a nice press off the board, but then kind of leans away from the board a little bit. Okay, lost a little bit of his height, but still a nice dive. Okay, this is their second dive in the finals. We have Adam Freeman up again from Barrington.
After the first round, he had a smile and that sense of humor by Ryan Hornback. Victor Pagui actually extended his lead slightly.
Oh. Very nice dive there by Adam. That was a forward 2.5 somersault pike. They're probably 2.6. Okay, you watch here. He gets a very, very nice press off the board. Nice tight pike. Okay, good rotation, and then extended and reach for the water. And then some nice scores there for a high DD dive. That's going to help his cause.
Big points, 52 points. In the last round, we only had 1 dive over 40.
Yeah, I mean, well, now you start to see some little bit higher DDs. These are their money dives. Devin's doing a forward 2.5 somersault pike, the exact same dive that Adam just did. Another nice dive. Okay, back to back. One guy goes up there and does a great dive, and the other guy comes back and answers it. Watch here, gets a very, very nice press off the board. Gets some good height. Okay, nice pike there. Good extension into the water. A little bit of splash at the end. Otherwise, nice dive.
Just a little short of the score by Freeman. But scored a 48.2 in that dive. Brings up Matt Smith.
Matt's doing one of his required, an inward dive pike, 1.5. Just got a good lift off the board. Tight pike. Okay, nice dive. So again, what the judges are looking for, they're watching the takeoff, the completion of the dive in the air, and then also their entry. And here you'll notice the last thing they usually see are your feet, and it's so important to keep those toes pointed because that's the last thing they see, and they remember that.
Brings up diver number 4, Eric Kelly from Rockford Christian.
Very nice dive there. Okay, again, one of his required dives. The other thing that's kind of difficult is, you have to understand there's 7 judges, 4 on one side, 3 on the other, so they get a little bit different perspective depending upon where they're sitting. Here you watch, good press off the board, nice reach, okay, and good extension into the water.
Jake Bohm from Glenbrook South. He's probably dived here a few times, being in the same conference.
I would assume he knows these boards probably better than some of the other guys, which is an advantage. Okay. High DD dive there, a little bit short on it. Okay, and that will, will cost him a few points, but, he gets 5.5, which is a good score on a high DD dive. He lost his legs just a little bit on the takeoff.
And the leader after the first round here in the finals, Victor Paglia,
And here's
trying to extend his lead.
Here's his required dive, just a reverse dive tuck. Look at that height. Okay. Rode that board very, very nicely. If there's anything the judges are going to see there, he arched his back just a little bit on his entry. Otherwise, a beautiful, beautiful dive. Watch this press off the board. The great height he's getting. Okay, reaching for there, just arches back just a tad, and that's why I went over a little bit.
Got a little hang time going in there.
Exactly, Michael Jordan.
Dan Rabilko from Niles West.
Okay, nice dive again. I just want to point out to the viewers watching, the last thing they see, unfortunately, is are the toes or the feet. And
there,
look at those scores. Excellent, excellent job.
Judges
Okay,
really
tight
like
pike
that
there,
dive.
reaches for the water, and they watch for that toe point at the end. And obviously, look at his toe point. Very little splash at all. Beautiful dive.
This is Noah Morgan.
Doing a back somersault with 2.5 twists in the free position. High DD, 2.7. Okay, you can see, you heard some of the groans from the audience. Okay, lost it a little bit at the end there. When he takes off here, he gets a good press, but as he starts doing his twist, he loses control a little bit. And you can see on the entry there that he is on a little bit of a slant.
A little nervous, as he got a little close to the board,
Yeah.
but did not hit it. As you look at Chad Jarris from Naperville North.
Chad's doing a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.3. Okay. Nice dive there. If anything, his out kind of a little bit far from the board. Of course, the previous diver was close, so maybe that might have influenced him a little bit. But if you watch here, okay, comes up here. Okay, good hurdle, nice press. Okay, a little loose on the dive, and I think that's probably what made it go out a little bit on him.
Brings up Josh Carson. He was 10th after this last dive. Remember, he had to take a step down and come back up and collected himself very well.
That was a nice dive. That was a hard dive. It was a forward dive, 1.5 somersaults with 2 twists. In a free position, 2.6. Did a nice job on that one, although all the judges don't necessarily agree with that. Okay, watch the takeoff here. Good hurdle, nice press. Okay, over twisted just a little bit on the entry, and maybe that's what some of the judges caught.
This young man is second through 10 dives.
Doing a forward 1.5 somersault with 1 twist, free position. Good press. Okay. Not a bad dive. He went over just a tad on the entry. Okay. Very nice. He does a little skip hurdle there. Nice press off the board. Tight twist. Just lost control of it a little bit there at the end, and fairly large splash there at the end.
And we're just about to complete the second round here in the finals with Ryan Hornbeck.
Reverse 1.5 somersault pike, 2.5 DD. Got a nice hurdle there and nice lift off the board. Got some good height on there. Seemed like he kind of over-rotated just a little bit and had to arch his back just to help save the dive, as they call it. Here you notice, comes up here, good press. Nice height. Okay, good tight tuck there, and he had to, just kind of save it a little bit, arch his back, and kind of threw his legs over a little bit. Okay, we're into the final round. Last dive for these guys.
11th dive. And for the seniors, their final one.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, nice dive. That was a forward 1.5 somersault with 2 twists free. 2.6. You can tell, not only by looking at the young men when they're doing a good dive, but just watch the entry here. Gets great hurdle, great press off the board, keeps everything nice and tight, and then when he enters the water, he just kind of slides through there like a, a hot knife through butter. Okay, Devin's doing a reverse 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists free. High DD on his last dive, 2.6.
And after the last dive, he is now in second.
323.95.
Very nice dive there. Good body control, up, up above the board. Nice entry, good distance from the board. He should score well on this one. Those are good scores on a 2.6 dive. Here it's a nice hurdle, good drive off the board. Nice control of the body, finishes the dive just at board level and drops it in the water. Okay, Matt's doing a reverse 1.5 somersault pike, 2.5. Again, another high DD dive. Okay, nice dive there. Again, probably a little far out. You notice also he had to arch his back to do what we call saving the dive. But let's take a look at it again. He does a little skip hurdle. Some guys use that, some don't. Good press off there. Nice tight. And then he had to arch his back there at the end just to try to drop it in vertically.
Eric Kelly. All
forward.
juniors and seniors in this event.
Nice dive. It's a forward double pike, 2.3. Okay, nice lift off there, a nice tight pike position, kicked out very nicely and dropped himself in feet first, straight up and down. And got good scores for that. Again, if you watch here, nice press, nice and tight, kicks out and drops right in.
Crowd liked the entry. Jake Bohm.
Doing a back 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4.
358.90.
Okay, a little short on that one. Okay, we'll have to take a look at the replay and see if we can pick up. Okay, if you watch here, good press. Looks like he's leaning a little bit away from the boards, which makes him flatten out just a little bit. And nice effort.
Trying to repeat as state champ. Last look, Victor Paglia.
And that's why he's defending state champion. Inward 2.5 somersault tuck. Degree of difficulty 3.1. Okay, on this replay, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see. Now watch this. Great press off the board, nice and tight into his tuck, and just slides right in. Very, very little splash on entry, and that's a very, very difficult dive.
One of the nicest things I saw was his competitors, his peers, gave him a huge hand, and the crowd loved it too. Very popular in the
Exactly. The divers appreciate each other. They understand what you have to go through to become good at this level. Another nice dive there. That was inward 2.5 somersaults tuck, 3.1. Another high DD dive. And you'll notice that on the replay that Dan, okay, gets a nice ride off the board. Okay, a little off to the side, but saves it and has a nice kick out there at the end.
Niles West had a nice showing here with the Torres brothers and Dan Ribocco.
Yes, yeah.
Did very well here at the finals.
It's nice to see that. You want to see some fresh blood in here all the time.
Noah Morgan, of course, he has a pretty outstanding teammate as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. That was reverse 1 1/2 somersault pike, 2.5. Okay, on Noah's last dive there, he seemed to be a little away from the board. Okay, and a little short, as they call it. Okay, if you're watching the replay here, nice hurdle, good press here. Okay, but he gets carried away from the board just a little bit and comes up just a tad short, and that's why we had that splash there at the end. Chad's final dive is a forward somersault with 2 twists in the free position. Okay, that's not, you know, nice effort on the part of the young man. It's probably not the way he wanted to, you know, finish up his, you know, the dive for this year, but he's in the state finals. Okay, here we go. We watch this comes up. Not a bad hurdle. Okay, gets too far on the end of the board, and that throws him out. And that's why he kind of lost control there at the end and kind of went over with his chest. Josh is doing a back dive, 1 1/2 somersaults pike. Okay, very nice dive to end up on. The tie DD was 2.4. We got a chance to take a look at this again. Okay, nice press off the board. Good tight pike there. Not a bad entry. Okay, Oliver's last dive was inward 2 1/2 somersaults tuck. Again, another 3.1 dive. Those seem to be the highest DDs here today. The third young man in the final round to have a 3.1 DD.
Second place for the definitely afternoon.
Okay, on that dive there, if you notice, he really didn't get a chance to complete the dive before the water kind of met him. And a lot of time that has to do with the fact that you just don't get the dive up high enough. Okay. You want to try to complete the dive before you get back down to the height of the diving board, and he actually completed it below the board.
3, 5, 3 1/2, 3, 3, 3.
Here's our final diver.
Which judge number is that, please?
A little scoring difficulty, making sure that we have all the judges' scores so we can get the awards.
3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3, 3, 3.
We had a correction on those scores,
Ryan, 53.
and now we are
Make
ready
sure.
for the final diver.
Reverse 1 1/2.
Ryan's in reverse 1 1/2 somersault with 1 1/2 twist, free, 2.6. That was a very nice dive. Kind of washed over just a little bit on his entry, but nice ride off the board, nice height, good mechanics or technique up in the air. Watch here. Okay, nice approach. Good takeoff. Okay, nice and tight there, reaching for the bottom. Okay, nice dive.
Well, the diving competition has been completed, and we'll be back with awards. Your repeat champion, Victor Padilla from Lake Forest, in the diving.
Here's his last dive. No, it's a nice height. What a way to end up. Okay, with a nice smooth entry there. Here's the same dive from a different angle. Okay, nice toe point, nice entry there on his last dive. Victor won it again this year and actually was 33 points higher on his score than he had last year when he won.
And a very popular young man as he stands atop the diving world in Illinois.
Look at that smile.
And the team standings after 5 events. We've had our break. Marmion Academy still in the lead, but of course they had no one there. And there's the rest of the field relatively unchanged. And the pool has now been reset for the swimming events. You see the swimmers tightening up and tidying up, getting ready for what may be the premier event of the night. State records fell yesterday, and the two top swimmers are in this event. But first, the consolation. Morton out of St. Charles East, call from Bennett. Woodbury, the coach's son from New Trier, just a freshman. Lopez Lago from Naperville Central. Perez from Neuqua Valley, and Early from Gurney Warren.
Again, we have some key.
Improve your times, as well as place 7th and garner team points.
And we have some key swims here with St. Charles in lane 2, New Trier in lane 4. Okay, again, we're talking about the team race.
Four laps, all fly. Many consider this the most difficult event.
Physically, it's probably the hardest, but if done correctly, as we talked about last night, it's one of the prettiest, most beautiful strokes to watch. And you'll see that in the finals with the two young men in lanes 4 and 5. They're very graceful, and that's in a very complimentary,
And the fans have had a rough time. It's a long time for them not to be screaming and yelling. As you saw Dan Hurley spelled out across the stomachs of his friends, and some of the faithful here yelling encouragement to their swimmers. Lane 2 on the top, lane 7 on the bottom of your screen.
Yard butterfly. Take your mark. Stand up, please. Way to go!
Start.
just checking to see if everyone's paying attention.
Take your mark.
Clean start. Pretty even on the outset. Look to the middle of the field.
This race here, or this event here, is, actually the fastest stroke that we have for a short distance. It's actually faster than the freestyle. The key here, as a young gentleman get into the race, is their turn work. They keep their kick going underwater to help them break up the surface and keep their speed going. Right now, lane 5 is doing a very nice job of that. The young man from Naperville Central, Jose.
Lopez Lago.
Watch this last turn here. It's very key. Watch him driving his kick. You see the power there.
Very tight through the field, lanes 2, 5, and 6.
Driving the hips up, reaching long to the wall. Lane 6 is coming up quickly.
Looks to be lane 5.
Jose Lopez Lago won it with a 51.95.
Not only did he win and get 7th place, but he also bettered yesterday's time, making him feel terrific.
And so did the young man from Neuqua Valley next to him. Paul Perez dropped his time a couple tenths. Watch the finish here. Here you can see how important the finish is. Paul and Jose are neck and neck. And on the reach there, Jose, here's a side view. Just watch the reach here. Paul's ahead of him, but watch as he kicks in, and Jose reaches and gets the victory.
Talked about accelerating into the finish. There he did, and here are the finals.
Here's the big race.
Larson, Baumgarten, Sokaitis, and Truppen neck to neck and right together. Jonathan Burgess and Gregory, freshman from Stevenson, who is not swimming like one.
No, he is not. It's very, very impressive to see a young man at that young of an age making an impact like this in his first state meet.
Both Sokaitis and Truppen broke the record yesterday.
100-yard butterfly. Take your mark.
And they're together in the middle of the field.
Again, it's very, very tight right now. First 25 really isn't going to determine anything.
Truppen in the full bodysuit.
Exactly. If you watch Truppen off his walls, though, you'll notice he streamlines very, very tightly, kicks very nicely off. Terry Sokaitis is right there with him, though.
Truppen makes the turn first and has a slight lead, but Sokaitis
Truppen has about a stroke on him right now. But
Baumgarten swimming well also out of lane 3.
He was like second or third in state last year. Dan Truppen just got what a very, very nice turn there. Actually opened up about a half a body length lead on that last turn. Now it's just like power, your hips up and drive for the wall and reach.
Truppen, so Kaitis
48.69.
Oh!
He just broke the state record set by Terry Silkaitis last night. This young man has set 2 state records today. Again, if we watch on this replay, we'll notice that, see the nice hip action, drive and sits up, reaching for that wall, nice long stroke. Okay, beautiful swim. There again, notice that reach, driving the hips up, head down, strong finish. Look at that kid. Boy, is he happy.
You think there is one
be.
happy champ. So it was all it was touted to be. Awards are next. Yesterday, Terry Silkaitis threw down the gauntlet, and Dan Truppen picked it up, and he set a new state record, beating out Silkaitis in the 100-meter fly. Baumgartner's third, Burgess in fourth, Gregory in fifth, and Gorson in sixth. So Stevenson picks up some big team points there.
Exactly. They've been quiet for a while because they haven't had anybody in there, but now they start to make their move. They have the 2 flyers. They have 2 free relays coming up. But let's talk about the man of the moment right now, Dan Truppen. Double state champion, 2 state records today. The history of Illinois has had some very, very outstanding athletes. He is going to rank right up there with them.
And he's receiving a standing ovation from the crowd here, and he's acknowledging the appreciation. Very
well
nice.
deserved. Well
One
deserved.
of the best parts about high school athletics is the sportsmanship that's shown. The next event, another good one, the 100-yard freestyle, and a lot of people think this is the premier event in many meets.
Yes, they do. I mean, the sprint freestyles usually are, but, you know, when you have 2 extremely gifted athletes going head-to-head, that makes another, you know, that event probably the premier event. But, yeah, the sprint freestyles are usually the ones that people watch for.
In the lane assignments for the consolation heat, Richards from Pekin, Stevens from Mount Prospect, Kasparovich from Canton, Ward from Geneseo Darnell, Kopecki from Rockville Estates, and Hayden from right here at New Trier.
New Trier 40. Stevenson 39, St. Charles 35. Okay, I'm sorry.
Gasparovich, one of 2 brothers swimming from Canton.
Decided. 100-yard freestyle. Take your mark.
4 laps of the pool, and it goes in a hurry. State record 44.47.
Again, this is, you know, we were talking about being a premier event. You know, everybody seems to like to swim freestyle, and they like to, you know, the shorter the race, the better. You know, here you need a little bit of endurance along with your speed. Turns here are key, especially on your breakout, keeping that kick going. Okay, in the middle of the pool right now, lane 4.
Gasparovich is leading
From
right now.
Canton. How about that?
But it is very tight right now. The defending champ is not in this event. Guess who that was? Dan Truppen decided not to enter. It is very tight coming in.
We have a nice move by the young man in lane 5. Nice finish there. Like I said, it's 4 lengths.
Marcus Ward.
47-36. Marcus Ward.
Oh, and he came on strong in the last 2 laps of this race with a nice swim. 47.36, and betters his time yesterday as well.
The young man's only a sophomore. Watch this finish here. Reaching, okay, pulling away. Okay, actually making a race that was close. Actually, look a little bit less close than it really was. Beautiful finish.
Appeared to swim negative splits on that. And his arms raised in victory, and now the top 6. Burgess in 2, Wallace, Grievers, very nice sophomore out of Lake Forest, McCaffrey, who you've seen before, Gullett, and Searby. There are your top 6.
The young man in lane 7, Searby, was the one who was disqualified for a false start in the 50. I believe this is his 2nd swim. He was on their Medley Relay, so obviously this is an important race for him.
100-yard freestyle. Take your mark.
Evanson also has 2 swimmers, and they need team points here in this particular heat. Big points to be had.
Marmion has a swimmer also out in lane 2, and as does Lake Forest with the top seed in lane 4. And right now, Mr. Grievers is making a statement, taking it out very fast, opening up a substantial lead on 100
Wow.
freestyle. I mean, he is a body length or 2 body lengths ahead of people. That's in this race, that's big.
It appears as if Sean McCaffrey in second, but it's very close for second place, but it's no doubt about who's leading. Matt Grievers just running away with
Look how high he is on top of the water. Nice strong kick there, keeping his tempo going. He's no breathing there at the end, reaches and rolls. 44.40.
A new record.
He broke the state record by 7/100ths of a second. That's a state record that's been around for 13 years. 13 years by Brian Kurza from Hinsdale South. Big swim. Look at this finish here. Young man was in control the whole way, very powerful all the way to the end. And watch his reaction when he realizes it. Job well done. And as you said,
and with that, we'll be back with the awards for an awesome performance. In an event where tenths separate champions, Matt Grievers just annihilated the record from 13 years old, taking the field by over 2 seconds. The sophomore from Lake Forest is the champ, and great swims by the rest of the field. McCaffrey, Gullett, Searby, Burgess, and Wallace. Here's the finish.
That's that reaction. Young man is a sophomore in high school, breaking the state record. Just imagine what's going to be like for the next 2 years as he gets older and better. Look at that young man smiling. 100-yard freestyle champion as a sophomore in high school. And we get to see him swim again later on in this meet too.
And the finals in the 500, the lanes, Heinzel, Ashley, Boswell, Daw, Wheeler, and Stevens, some outstanding swimmers, and the younger parts of the field in the distance event.
Yesterday,
Quiet for the start.
20 laps of the pool.
500-yard freestyle. Take your mark.
as I was going to say yesterday, the 2 top seeds here in lanes 4 and 5, Brad Boswell, who's a sophomore from Rockford Guilford, and Casey Daw, who's a junior from St. Charles, swam in the same heat and actually had, outstanding swims. The next 2 together, they should help each other again, and it ought to be a great race.
And flanked on the other side, on the top of the screen by Dave Ashley in lane 3, and those are your 1, 2, 3 at this point. Way early, of course, and you see the numbers at the end. Those are the numbers that they have completed. And what they're looking for is orange at the end of the race. That means you have 1 lap to go, let her rip.
It's almost over.
I want to remind you that the broadcast rights to this telecast are the exclusive property of the IHSA TV network. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this event without the express written consent is prohibited. A 2-man race right now in the middle of the pool. Daw and Boswell, who were neck and neck yesterday.
This race is looked upon as being the distance race for high school, but as far as swimming is concerned, this is actually referred to as a middle distance. You'll notice that these guys are actually swimming pretty fast. It's kind of a, you have to have some speed and endurance here. So it's the distance version for high school, but it's actually a what we call a middle distance race. Speed and endurance are both needed here. These young men are stroke for stroke. Casey Daw has a little bit of a lead, but we're only 7 laps into this event, so there's a lot left, a lot to set up.
For St. Charles East was touted to be the favorite for the team championship coming in. Had a little bit of a disappointing prelims yesterday and for the team, and this would go a long way to helping out the cause.
Very much so. For St. Charles right now, Casey's swim here is extremely key. They have some relays coming up at the end here, so if they want to make a move again toward getting a state trophy, Casey needs to win this.
Well, we're coming up to the halfway point in this race, and we want to remind you that if you want to find an all-time record, we've had a bunch here today, or see how your favorite team has done in its history, click on IHSA.org. 40 million visitors cannot be wrong.
They're a little past halfway now. They just flipped it 10 laps down there. They're on their 11th lap here. And Brad Boswell has actually pulled a little bit ahead of Casey Daw. So there's a little bit of jockeying back and forth here. This is the 300-yard mark, and this is where a lot of swimmers start to try to build it up and pull away from their competitors. Right now, as you said before, it's a two-man race, and well, still too early to decide who's going to have that kick at the end.
They've been trading places. First half went to Daw. Right now, Boswell with the lead in lane 4.
Right now, if you watch both of them, they got a nice rhythm going, nice long strokes. And they're maintaining a medium speed kick, and nowhere near as hard as what you see when the sprinters are kicking, because that will draw an awful lot of the action away from their shoulders and arms they need in this distance race.
It appears that they are pretty even with 5 laps to go.
This is where the race sets up now. Now you're going to find out just who has, the stamina, because now they're going to start pushing each other. There's 100 left, and now it's like, okay, let's start to work it.
The noise in here has picked up along with the pace of this event. And it is Daw now back in the lead.
Exactly. And what's interesting also is Casey can see him going down in this direction. You'll notice that Brad breathes and can see him coming back in the other direction. So they can actually watch each other. Right now, Casey has opened up about a half a body length lead, and we have a 50 left. Now is where they'll start picking their kick up. And whatever they have left, they're just try to sprint.
Daw the junior, Boswell the sophomore. Daw on the bottom of your screen with the lead with 1 lap coming up. There are the orange markers. 1 lap for home.
Watch what these guys have left. They've swum 19 laps, and now they're in an all-out sprint. And Casey Daw is opening up a little bit of lead. Brad Boswell's trying to make a move on him, but Casey Daw is going to win it. With a time of 4:28.99. Outstanding swim. That's within 3 seconds of the state record. That is it's a little under an 8-second drop for him from last night. The second place time of 4:30.02 is also very, very impressive. That was a 5-second drop for Brad from last night. Watch the sprint here at the end. You have to understand, these guys just swum 19.5 laps, and they are just busting it coming in at the end there. Beautiful reach on both of those guys. Think he's happy? I'm sure his team is too. He just helped them big time.
An emphatic yet for the champ. Awards are next. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick. And by the American Dairy Association. On behalf of your local dairy farmers, the power of cheese. A terrific swim by Daw from St. Charles East, 4:28.99, cutting off 8 seconds off his time from yesterday. Boswell right with him all the way, the sophomore from Guilford, Ashley from Lake Forest, Wheeler, Heinzel, and Stevens. There are the 500 results.
There's your finish here. Nice long reach on Casey. Now look at the enjoyment there. Young man next to him also, arms raised. They're both happy with their performances.
There he is, the 500 freestyle champ, Casey Daw. Just a junior, and it's going to be fun to watch Boswell and he go at it again next year.
Yeah, exactly. At least one more year of them, banging heads there.
With the fist in the air, the champ says, yes, I am golden. Next event will be the 200 free relay, the second of 2 of the 3 relays. And the lane assignments in the Consolation, Hinsdale Central, Canton, Naperville North, St. Patrick, Lake Forest, and Home and Flossmoor. There in the middle of the picture, the Huskies from Naperville North. Lead time coming in this Consolation final. 7th place at stake.
50 seconds. 200 yard freestyle relay. Take your mark.
Start.
Oh boy, have a 10-minute break and a false start coming out of it. Of all the things you hate to see a false start, I think the relays are the worst because you feel so badly laying down your other 3 teammates. Nothing you can do.
Somebody just noticed, looks to me like lane 5
Again, we'll have the two officials
There's
coming
no
from
relay
opposite
in lane
sides
5.
who will have written their number of the lane they think is DQ'd. If they agree, they go tell them. It appears that it's going to be lane 6, Lake Forest.
That is huge for the Lake Forest, team points.
So the Scouts will not have a chance to swim in this event.
Also, it looks like lane 5
Is empty.
St. Patrick didn't show up.
Well, after the break, we've lost one team to DQ and one who has chosen not to race. So we're going to have only 4 teams here in this event. 200 free relay. Second of the 3 relays.
Take your mark.
This is probably one of the most exciting of the 3 relays. It's over before you know it. 4 guys just going 50 yards, all out. They brought this relay back about 8 years ago, and the kids love it. And so do the spectators. It's a fun one to watch.
The record in this event is 124 flat, held by Wabansie Valley. Probably not threatened in this particular heat, but might be in the second.
Exactly. Evanston has a shot at it if they can duplicate what they did yesterday and just pick it up a little bit.
At the top of the screen, the Devil Relays, as the kids are calling Hinsdale Central, in the lead.
Very, very nice exchange by Hinsdale over in lane 2 from their second to third swimmer. Opened up a nice lead.
There's such a distance between them, but also Holman Flossmoor is moving to Greece at the bottom of the screen, but right now it is Hinsdale Central, Canton in yellow cap, and it looks below down in Holman Flossmoor at the bottom of the screen. It is the Devils, the Red Devils of Hinsdale Central at the top of the screen in lane 2.
The anchor swimmers for Naperville North and Canton are making a move on the Hinsdale Central swimmer. The Naperville North young man has just pulled up.
Naperville North anchor leg swimmer winning a fabulous race, and he is going to...
Beautiful anchor swim by the young man from Naperville North. 127.37 by Naperville. Phenomenal anchor swim by the young man from Naperville North.
That is an awful lot of distance to make up in a 50.
Exactly. And he knows it. Look at that smile. Again, if you watch the replay here, he's just churning coming home there. So is the Hinsdale Central guy. This guy just lengthening his arm stroke there. Very, very beautiful anchor.
Great job by that young man. And now it's the top 6. Huge. Marmion Academy and Evanston both in this race, and they are in the team race. At the top, Marmion in 2, New Trier, and there you saw the rest of the field, Evanston, Fenwick, Stevenson, and St. Charles D. You have everybody in the relay that leads the team point.
This is a big swim for Marmion because I believe this is their last swim of the meet.
200 yards, freestyle relay. Take your mark.
They now will have to wait and watch. I believe they do not have anybody in the backstroke, the breaststroke, or the 400 free relay. So Marmion needs to make their final statement here and see if their point total can hold up.
Making a good statement on the first leg. It is Marmion and Lee at the top. They're the defending champs, but only 2 of the 4 are returning.
Exactly. And if you take a look, the 2 teams you expected to be battling for are the 2 teams that are currently in first and second. You have Marmion out in lane 2 and Evanston in lane 4.
And after the exchange, Evanston quickly goes into the lead.
But again, remember, Marmion will probably have Nicholas Burgess, the 50 freestyle champion, anchoring it. So
Marmion and Evanston, 1-2.
it's far from over.
Blake Wallace swimming this leg for the
Blake Wallace just
Wildcats.
opened up some room there. It was a nice turn. He just gave his team a little bit of
New Trier
breathing
making a
room.
move.
Down in lane 6, we have Stevenson making a move.
Anchor legs are in. And it is Evanston Township in the middle of the pool making a statement and going for a record.
Looks to me like Evanston has us. Now the battle's going to be for second. We have a bunch of teams, 3 teams in lanes 3, 5, and 6.
New Trier looks to be in second. It's very tight, but it is Evanston Township.
124.90. New Trier took second. Followed by Fenwick in third and Stevenson in fourth. Again, if you watch here on this replay, Evanston has broken ahead of everybody, and this young man is still churning in there. Nice long reach, driving finish. Important swim as far as Evanston's hopes to become the state champions now in 2001.
Unofficially, that win has vaulted Evanston into the team lead. Coming up, the awards for that event. Talk about listening to your coach. That's Lee Maurer, the coach of the Lake Forest Scouts, and she is a former world champion and American record holder in the backstroke. She knows what it feels, and she is a young man that will be coming up in the backstroke who has already won the freestyle. Team standings through this event. Marmion Academy is leading slightly over Evanston Township, St. Charles East, Lake Forest, and tied for fifth, Naperville North, and hometown, New Trier. And there is your winner, the winners in the 200 free relay. And boy, Evanston made a statement, not only for this relay, coming very close to the state record, but also toward the team championship.
Exactly. They, they've been quiet for a while. They've had a couple events there where they, didn't have anybody in it. Now all of a sudden the relays have scored double the points. They made their statement again. They want the state championship, and they're going after it. So they have a backstroker and the 400 free relay left.
And there are the results of that event once again. Next up will be the 100-yard backstroke. Again, the consolation finals first. And of course, this is the part of the event where they actually get to jump in first. Anderson from Evanston Township, more points to be had. Two swimmers from Stevenson and Gorson and Gregory. Tom Gregory having a great freshman meet. Boley from Springfield, McCarthy from Friend, and Johnson from Champaign Centennial.
What's interesting about this race, the boys are doing what's called a stand-up start. This is the only place, this is the only level in the world where you're allowed to do that.
100-yard backstroke. Take your mark.
Gives you an advantage at the Olympic level, international level, NCAA, even YMCA. They must start down in the water. Only at the high school level are they allowed to stand up on there and do what's called a stand-up start. Key things here on backstroke, body position is so important here. You'll notice that the guys look like their whole chest all the way down to their belly button is dry. That's excellent body position, and then you have to have a good body, a good shoulder rotation.
Tom Gregory in lane 4 with the early lead, but flanked out below him in 5 and 6. Boley and McCarthy very close.
You know that Stevenson has to be not only looking forward to the meet today, but also to the future. This young man here who's leading the consolations is a freshman. They have a lot of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. They're having a great meet here, and they'll have a bright future over the next couple of years. Tommy Gregory, he won the consolation at 52.92.
He's got to be thrilled with 53.43 coming in and 52.92 drop.
Half a second drop from one day to the next is a huge improvement.
And of course, in the championship heat, Barrow, Parr, White, and White, of course, set a state record yesterday in this event. Grievers, who we talked about, and has already won the 100 free, Foley and Schmidt. So this shakes out to be very good looking at lanes 4 and 5.
It'll be interesting to see what Matt Grievers can do. Obviously, James White has shown that he's the state record holder in the backstroke, but after that 100 freestyle today by Matt Grievers, I think we may have a lot closer race than maybe people are expecting. I know that James will not give it up easily.
The old record was 50.08. He had a 49.71 first ever.
100-yard backstroke. Take your mark.
Again, you'll notice on a lot of these backstrokers they do what's called the dolphin kick or the butterfly kick underwater, not only off their start, but off the turns. We have found out that that actually gives us a lot more speed, helps us break up through the water surface much more cleanly.
And it is White in the early lead with the yellow cap, pretty easy to see. And right below him, Matt Grievers in his shadow.
Nice out by both of these young men, but Matt Grievers is right next to him there. Going to his third turn. Third turn is key. Can't lose your momentum there. They both kind of flip at the same time. They come up almost dead even. Now it's just a sprint to the end and hope that you don't overstroke at the end. Reaching, dive and reach at the finish. Looks like James White won it with a 49.38, but Matt Grievers also broke the 50-second barrier with a 49.58. Outstanding race.
Congratulate each other on both of them breaking the state record, but the one that's going to count is that of
here
James
on the replay,
White.
watch this. It is so tight here. The difference sometimes just a reach and a lunge at the end. Okay, James Wilk did that. Excellent finish. Good race by both of the young men.
And the awards next with 2 events to go. Don't forget that America's Original March Madness, boys Class A March 9 and 10, boys Class AA March 16 and 17, the quarterfinals at 12 noon and 6:30, the semis on Saturday at 11 a.m., and the championship at 8, preceded by the 3rd place game. Plus, don't forget the Country Company's Insurance King of the Hill 3-point showdown and the Slam Dunk Extravaganza right here on your IHSA TV network, serving over 4 million homes. And the results of this last event, the 100 back, and it was exciting. 2 young men under the magic 50, White and Grievers, and they're going to be back, folks, to do it again next year. Parr, Foley, Barrow, and Schmidt.
Up the field. Again, you take a look at those 2 young men. They're both underclassmen. Next year, we may see somebody under 49. Let's see a 48, and the national record is a 47. 0.50. So, you know, that may not be out of the question either.
And there's a young man that's not hard to find in a crowd with that bright red hair, James White, congratulating all his competitors. And he not only has a championship, but he also has a new state record, 49.38 from Sterling, Illinois.
He'll be back next year.
Next up, 100 breaststroke. The next to last event today, and the lane assignments for consolation. Warner from Buffalo Grove, North from St. Charles East, Cormashop from Hinsdale Central, Treby from Neuqua Valley, LaRue from West Chicago, and Sir from University High School in Normal. There you see some of the officials. That was Mrs. Ball, who certainly, so many of these officials have kids, they're parents of former swimmers, and continue to give back to their sport. And we really appreciate it. You can't do it without the officials.
100-yard breaststroke. Take your mark.
Great shot of what a swimmer sees contemplating their race.
Out in lane number 3 is the young man from Naperville North, sorry, not Naperville North, St. Charles, Matt North. This young man was in the finals last year. I just learned earlier today he's a little bit under the weather, but he's a senior. He's going out there realizing his team needs these points in the battle for the 2nd and 3rd place trophies, and right now he's taking the lead.
It was probably the closest of the races into the 100, but right now, very strong. Also at the bottom of your screen is Tom Sir making a nice move out in lane 7. But turning first is
Matt North
lane 4.
St. Charles.
Lane 3, I'm sorry.
Nice tempo here, driving forward with his legs, pressing forward. He's tying up a little bit. The field's closing on him. It looks like he has enough, though. Yes, he does. He ends up taking 7th with a 58.67.
Matt North with 7th place, and in second, Wormershoff in lane 4.
Here again, you'll watch nice mechanics here, pushing forward, pressing down with his chest and shoulders, holding his form together even though he's tiring out to win that heat for his team.
Wormershoff, just a freshman going against the senior, and now the top 6. In lane 2, Miskovich out of Fremd, Paul Ridgway, Louis Torres, who's had a great meet, Jordan Guglioli, Hank Baldwin, and Elliot Potasnik.
Again, you can tell that Louis Torres is well respected by his competitors, the other teammates. They really like the show.
100-yard breaststroke. Take your mark.
The throw from Fury Woodruff scratched. So lane 5 is open. And Louis takes it out.
Yeah, Paul Ridgway with a small lead at the beginning there.
It's Ridgway with the lead in lane 3. Torres below him and now making a move. But right now, Ridgway holding strong after 50.
Also down in lane 6, Hank Baldwin is probably just like a half a stroke behind them. Looks like right now, though, the battle between Ridgway and Louis Torres. Right now, Ridgway still.
This is tight a final as we've had today.
Exactly. Underwater work here is going to be key. Who gets the best pullout, comes up, driving forward. Louis just pulled up even with him. Now you have tempo, driving your body forward. Louis has very, very good rhythm there. And Louis Torres wins it.
The sounds
with a
of
time of 56.70, dropped another 10 from last night.
What a last about 40 meters or 40 yards that he put on.
Exactly. You know, he realized that the key to the race is 4 laps. And here he comes in here, driving forward. Good strong kick there, pressing down with his chest and arms. Actually made it with a close race through basically 75 yards. Seemed like he won it fairly easily. He had about almost a full body length at the end there. Phenomenal last 25 by this young man.
The senior betters his time by a full 10th and raises a #1 to the swimming world. There are your results. Louis Torres winning in the last 40 yards. Ridgway, Baldwin, Miskovich, Potasnik, and withdrawn from Peoria Woodruff was Jordan Guglioli. Tough to not be able to swim your last race. We don't know what happened. We just know that he withdrew. But your champion is a very, very popular young man, Louis Torres. You heard the echoing of Lou throughout this natatorium here at New Trier. 56.70, bettering yesterday's time, and winning a state championship is the senior. What
That's
a great
amazing.
smile.
You listen to the crowd cheer for him, and we're talking about spectators from St. Charles, Niles West, Evanston. I mean, everyone's cheering for the young man. What a popular young man. What a way to go out as a senior.
Well, you don't see that very often with other teams leading the cheers. Lou Torres.
Yeah.
And we are ready for the final event, but not before we look at the team standings. Evanston has overtaken Marmion Academy, who does not have a team in this last event. St. Charles East making a great showing today. Hometown New Trier having a great showing. Stevenson and Naperville North after 11 of the 12 events. And lane assignments for Consolation in the 400-yard freestyle relay. Everybody swims 100. Nequa Valley, Fenwick, out of Oak Park, Hinsdale Central, the Red Devils, New Trier in 5, St. Patrick, and Champaign Centennial. This is so hard to finish up. Everything rides on this. It's the last time you want to make a statement. You want to make sure that you go out as you plan.
Exactly. And it's also going to be tough on the Marmion team right now because they have to sit and wait. But the teams that are chasing them, they have to step it up now. So you're right. It's been a long, hard day. And it just gets a little bit tougher now because there's a little bit more at stake. You want one of those elusive 3 state trophies.
And remember, there are 32 points at stake for winning the lead, because they're double the individual events. So a whole lot riding on this, on the shoulders of these young men.
Exactly.
And lane
last races of many careers we're going to see right here.
This is Duncan. 400-yard freestyle relay. Take your mark.
Clean start, last event of the day. Consolation from New Trier High School. The 2001 Boys Swimming and Diving Championships is coming to a close. 2 heats to go.
And this is what it's all about. Last relay in a team, a team sport or a team trophy at stake, and you've got a relay ending it up. No better fitting way to do it.
All the early mornings, the late nights, and the mileage that these kids have put on, all being put on display here today.
I guarantee you some of them are looking for the short break they will take over the next week or so, but then most of these young men will get back and start training either on another sport or in the sport of swimming.
Early lead appears to be in lane 5, which would be New Trier.
New Trier needs these points right now if they want to move up the rankings there toward the 3rd place trophy. They're currently in 4th place as a team.
5, 6, and 7 are your leading lanes, which is Hinsdale, New Trier, and St. Patrick. I'm sorry, New Trier, St. Patrick, and Centennial. But now making a move on the top is Neuqua Valley coming up in lane 2.
Right now,
on the turn,
Hinsdale Central young man is pulling on, giving his team some room between the 2nd and 3rd place teams in this heat.
Hinsdale Central, the 2nd swimmer, has really taken it out.
Sure has. He's opened up about a 4-yard lead on the New Trier team, who's currently in 2nd.
Extended it to almost 2 full body lengths at this point.
And at this point in time, that's pretty important. You've got what we call clear water. There's very little turbulence. You're not fighting that like some other teams are. And also, your young man on the exchange won't have to worry about rough water.
And the lane just below is New Trier holding 2nd at this point in the consolation heat.
New Trier is pulling up into a second place position right now, but Hinsdale Central is still maintaining a substantial lead.
Hinsdale Central, New Trier in lanes 5 and 6, coming into
Down
the
to
wall.
our final swimmer. Exchanges are key here. They got to be safe, but you also want them fast. A lot of points riding here. You can't take the chance of cutting it too close.
The New Trier swimmer going out very fast and making up some ground on Hinsdale Central at
New
this
Trier is
point.
closing a little bit.
But there's still 50 yards to go.
Yep. Watch that young man at Hinsdale really picking his kick up. Tempo of the New Trier swimmer is picking up.
I can tell you this place is deafening, of course, as the hometown favorite is getting a lot of help from these fans.
Exactly. And this is only the consolations. Can you imagine what the finals are going to be like? Look at that turn. He just closed on him. Looks like Hinsdale's going to have enough room left at the end, but New Trier really came on there. 3:11.15 by Hinsdale Central, and New Trier was 3:11.91. 8/10 of a second. That's pretty impressive swimming by
again,
both
they cut
relays.
time. Both of them great swims.
Again, you'll notice here, good fast turnover. You notice in the last 5 yards, they stop breathing. Just drive for that wall. Nice job by Hinsdale. Excellent job by New Trier.
Hands are raised. This place is rocking. You can barely hear in here for all the excitement and the cheering as we prepare for the final event of the afternoon. There it is, Naperville Central in 2, St. Charles East, Evanston, who wants to win the state trophy as well in 4, Naperville North, Stevenson, and Lake Forest. 4x100, all that's left.
A lot of points riding on this race for teams like St. Charles, Evanston, Naperville North, and Stevenson, and Lake Forest.
400-yard freestyle relay. Take your mark.
State record is 3:05.84.
Right now, Evanston has what we might call a little luxury as long as they keep their start safe, okay, and finish their relay up. It looks like they will be the state champions for this year. But the second and third place trophies are still up for grabs. And teams like St. Charles, Stevenson, Midville North are still in the hunt. And Marmion is still waiting to find out what happens in this heat.
Because they've got a chance at a record. They have the capabilities to do it. And yet you don't want to DQ because that could cost you.
Exactly. So I think they'll find out their starts they'll be good, but they will be safe and they'll do their swimming in the water as opposed to trying to cut it too close. I mean, they can probably taste it now. They know that if they finish this race and don't do anything to jeopardize their chances, they will be the state champions for this year.
And I suspect maybe there'll be a wet coach in the future in that case.
So there'll probably be a couple of wet coaches. And well-deserved. I mean, their last state title was 1960.
Oh.
It's a long time.
Evanston has hosted this event. Every other event they trade with New Trier, but to win it, probably their wish it was at their home pool, but it's about the next best thing.
I think it's sweet any place to do it. I'm sure they'll enjoy it.
They won't care where they want it.
Right now, Naperville North is pulling up on the team from Evanston, making it a race. Third swimmers in the water. Evanston has about a half body length lead. Naperville North is right behind them. And looks like St. Charles is over on the other side and currently in third.
St. Charles East certainly has made a move as well, but you see Evanston in the lead, below them Naperville North, and above St. Charles East, 1, 2, 3 in this final event of the championships.
Evanston also has, I believe their anchor is Sean McCaffrey. If their order is the same as last night, Sean McCaffrey will be anchoring it for them. Young man placed, I believe it was fourth or third in the 100 free. So they have a very, very tough anchor there.
3 seniors in this crew, in this quartet.
Nice start there by Evanston. Kept it nice and safe. Naperville North's in the water behind them in second place.
Got a fine time going. McCaffrey, we believe, is the anchor swimmer, and he's got about a body and a half lead.
Looks to me like Stevenson is now pulled up and is battling both St. Charles East, and Naperville Central for the next position. It looks like Stevenson has pulled just a slight bit ahead of St. Charles for that third spot on the relay, but there's still 30 yards left.
Stevenson's made a move with 25 to go, but there you look at the anchor leg swimmer for the Evanston Township Wildcats.
Evanston's going to punctuate this with a victory at 3:06.93, lowering their time from last night's. Second place was Naperville North. St. Charles did hang on and get third. Stevenson was fourth.
Well, it might not have been a state record, but they gave it a great shot.
Again, what a way to go out as state champions. Take a look at this. They're all by themselves, stroking to the finish. They've led from the prelims last night to the finals today, and it's nice to be able to finish up with the last event and being the team state champion.
Terry Sakaitis, Seth Weidman, Blake Wallace, and Sean McCaffrey, 3 out of 4 seniors. There's the 400 relay, the champions, the last event of the day, and it seals the state championship. And the outstanding swimmer of the meet, 4 records were broken in this meet, 2 of them by this young man, Dan Truppen. IM and 100 fly. And there is the state championship trophy, the first time in 41 years. 1960, the last time Evanston won it. And they now return to New Trier, and the coach is going to get wet. No, the traditional bouncing for Coach Kevin Auger and a happy group of Wildcats. Fabulous performance by the whole team. And this telecast has been brought to you. And I'm Ed Richardson, I'm Ann Penstone saying so long. Please go out and watch high school sports, and we'll see you next year.